Rieccoci qua a Metal Detector, signore e signori. Questa puntata però andiamo oltreoceano, infatti da questo momento, quando dirò adesso, cominceremo a parlare in forestiero, ma precisamente lo faremo da adesso.
Ho ho ho, it's Christmas time again. Welcome back to Metal Detector, the only web TV show about heavy metal and Christmas time. Why Christmas?
What?
Why? We're talking about Christmas.
What kind of language is that?
Shut up and fuck. Okay, so we have a special guest tonight, and we have something new to tell you, but as always, we prefer to let Tanya introduce our special guest. So,
people say our voices fit together like a glove. We did a country record together and charted the first single. And I thought, hang on, there's nothing like this in melodic rock. This is how together they compose something unique. So let yourself be fascinated and lose yourself in their music. They are lost and found.
and welcome back. Hi, Simon.
Hey, that's a great intro, guys. That had my head bouncing right along the whole time through. You'd never get an intro like that in Canada for a rock music show, not anymore. So.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, of course, blame Canada, like we have discovered watching, what's the name of the show?
South Park.
South Park show. But anyway, Simon Marwood, we will talk later about what's new about Fatal Vision, but we are here also to speak a little bit about Lost and Found. That's why we're dressed like Christmas trees. And can you tell us a little bit more? Can you introduce for us what's going on with this new project?
Absolutely. The Christmas stuff is fun. It's February 3rd, and I am just, in fact, taking down my Christmas decorations today because I had no time before now. So if you looked over there, I'd have the Christmas tree and all the penguins and snowmen and all the good Canadian stuff. But
nice.
So yes, Lost and Found. Lost and Found came about because on the Fatal Vision project, over the course of the past few years, we had done a number of duets. Some were more power ballady things, some were faster. Between myself and a singer in Nashville by the name of Christine Corless. And she came along originally because I had a duet that I'd written way back in about 1989, 1990 that I wanted to see what it sounded like. It wasn't originally intended to be for Fatal Vision. She sang, we sang together, and people would say our voices together fit like a glove. Like it was like magic. And funnily, even though I've got all these other musicians that I work with, Christine has been on every single song that I have ever done up until this point. So every Fatal Vision song, whether it's a duet or backing, we did a country album actually last year because she's from Nashville, and we've had a couple of singles out from that, and that's sitting on the shelf for a moment. But then last year, I was talking with your good countryman, Alessandro Del Vecchio, and I said to Alessandro, you know, people are all the time saying, wow, you guys sound so fantastic together. And in country, there's a lot of duos, Lady Antebellum and people like that. Even in some modern music, there's a lot of duos, but the hard rock, melodic rock kind of duet stuff has really fallen away since the 80s. I mean, it used to be every soundtrack that would come out, there would be love theme from whatever thing, like Almost Paradise. Sharon Peter Cetera did one. All these but really it vanished. Like Starship, the original Starship was really the last time that there were big albums by a guy and a girl singing together. And so I said to Alessandro, well, here's an idea. Why don't, aside from Fatal Vision, Christine and I do a new project, which is basically just focused around us as the duet. And then let's see if we can get the best musicians in the world to play under us. And he said, that's a fantastic idea. Because yeah, there's nobody really doing this. And so we we started there, and then we started making phone calls, and so that's kind of how it all began.
Okay. And I know that, you already published 2 singles, and we will see the video for Oh Holy Night. But I know that you're working on a full album that will be published something around this year.
Yes.
Or not? Okay.
So, as you said, there were 2 songs that came out at Christmas, Oh Holy Night, that we have the video for, and Where Are You Christmas, which we would have loved to do a video for, but trying to get the licensing for that song when there's Mariah Carey and Faith, it's really expensive. So we decided to go with Oh Holy Night. What we're doing next, we have a single cover song again to get started with, which we are planning to have out probably around April, May timeframe. I mentioned Starship before. The obvious Starship song to go with is Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. And so that will be our first release, but it's a very rocked up, modern Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. Ali is on there playing some keyboards, but by and large, it's a hard rock version of it. We are then here in Canada. I don't know if you'll have heard of him in Italy or in Europe generally. There's a singer who has been around for a long time in the Canadian music scene by the name of Dan Hill. He had a song called Sometimes When We Touch, which was a big hit back in 1977 or so. So Christine and I have recorded a second cover to come right after that to a song that came out around 2010 called How I Feel. And then after that, we have I think it's 14 songs, which is on our debut album called Still Running, which the goal is to essentially have it out in the summer.
Okay. And then you want to plan some live shows. I know it's not easy because you have involved all those persons, but maybe you are dreaming a special lineup to bring this album on stage or not.
Yeah, it's a lot. We're talking about some of that right now to do the videos for the project, but it's a lot of work. So and not straightforward. So the other people playing on the record, again, the whole thing is focused around the 2 voices, and then we have, as I said, Alessandro on keyboards. We have Vinnie Burns from Asia and Dare on lead guitars. Ron Wixo, who's drummed for Foreigner and David Lee Roth and the Steve Miller Band and so on drums. And then the last person I said to Alessandro, I don't suppose there's any way that we could get Lee Sklar, is there? Just kind of as a joke. And Alessandro reached out to him and he said he'd love to do it. So we have Lee on bass, and then Paul Lane from Danger and the Defiance, a friend of mine here in Canada. He is joining us once again on backing vocals. So getting all those people together in that,
it's a great lineup.
It would be a challenge. It's something we'd love to do. And I was talking to one of them a couple of weeks ago and said, oh man, it'd be fantastic to, even for the videos, to have everybody in the same place. So you never know. It's just a challenge to with the musicians that we've got on the record. They're despite the fact that it's not 1987, everyone is so busy, and I mean they're in very disparate places. We got Ali in Italy and Vinny in the UK, Paul in Canada, me in Canada, the rest scattered around the US. So it would be fantastic. And now you'll see when the record comes out, but some of the songs as well. Sometimes on the Fatal Vision stuff, especially the first record, I'd get people saying, "Oh, Simon never he sings in a low voice, and he's not a high tenor." And where here in Canada, that's fairly typical. That we have people who sing it all. Not everyone sounds like Steve Perry. But on this one, it was funny because we recorded the songs, and when I was in high school, which is when I wrote a lot of the record, a lot of the songs on Fatal Vision 1, I just naturally didn't think my voice could stretch that far and wrote everything in a middle C. What we have found when recording the vocals on this one is a more comfortable place for me to sing is actually higher, not Steve Perry high. And so replicating an hour and some of those live, I don't know that I could do that night after night at the age I'm at.
Okay. So let's do that. Let's see all together the video for Oh Holy Night, and then maybe we comment a little bit more, and then we will see.
Good.
So, as Mitchell Lafon always said, we have some facts here. We love 10. We love Alessandro Del Vecchio. We love Fatal Vision, so nothing wrong with that. We just need to wait for the full album.
And we love Christmas.
Now I want to put all my Christmas decorations back up, I think.
Yeah. It's mandatory. We all need to have Christmas dedication all the year. So now we have a moment that maybe could become a little bit, mad water or troubling. You have to choose a number because we have an ugly question for you.
Mm-hmm.
An ugly question. Okay.
Yeah, so you have to choose a number between 1 and 2.
Yes,
1 and 2.
Yes, 1 and 2.
Okay.
It's not easy.
1.3.
What we have the question number 1.3. Oh, we have. I'm so sorry. Go, director.
Hello there. How many times a day you think about the Roman Empire? That could sound like a strange question, huh? Because it is, but trust me, a lot of people nowadays think about the Roman Empire. Or do you prefer some other kind of empire? Just like the Ottoman Empire or the Galactic Empire? Choose your favorite empire and tell me why you think about it.
I'm so sorry. We are trying to help him.
Yes.
His psychologist told him to make those.
It's important for
kind
me
of
to know
tricky
all
games.
these things. Think about it.
So there were 2 questions there. One was, how many times a day do you think of the Roman Empire? So I would say probably at least once or twice a day. I do actually think about the Roman Empire.
See that?
One, because of the fact that all roads lead to Rome, right? And I have all these straight roads that led directly to Rome. And we actually have a song on the next Fatal Vision album called All Roads Lead to London, which Italian people may find offensive because they should lead to Rome, not to London, but it is what it is. Empires are bad these days, though. Like in the old days, I would say the British Empire, because I was born in the UK, but the Empire did very bad things. Maybe maybe the Galactic Empire.
Hey, it's nice, huh?
Maybe that.
Yeah, because stormtroopers are so dumb.
Or the Empire of the Ants, where I think there's a story where the ants end up taking over parts of Africa and then they start marching towards Europe. So there we go. My favorite empire is the Empire of the Ants. There you go.
Cool answers. Okay, so now we have also some picture. You have to comment it because we were not there while you shoot it, so we need to discover more. Oh, basically, I can imagine that it's a cover of your single.
That is the cover of the greatest Christmas cover in all eternity. I'll come and sign that for you. That's probably worth like 6 million euros.
Cool.
The back cover?
That's the that's the promo photo. So there we have myself and Christine in the middle from a concert, Fatal Vision concert, a video actually that we did last year. We have Vinny top right there looking very cool, I think, at a Dare show. Alessandro, who looks really cool on stage. Lee, I mean, he's not giving us the finger, which he normally does, so that's different. We have Ron Wixo in the bottom right. Ron is a monster behind drums. When we first started this, the first person I said to Alessandro actually was Ron. I looked at him for several years. I loved his work in The Storm, and he's been in so many different things. And then we have my Canadian friend at the bottom, who always calls himself old, which then makes me feel old, my friend Paul Lane. So yes, that's our promo photo.
Okay, perfect.
Everyone looks very cool. I'm sure they look like, oh, how sweet.
Yeah, really.
So that was a photo that was taken at Christmas. We were doing actually some Fatal Vision social media stuff, and that's a studio in Ottawa And that there's 3 photos like that. That's actually the one that I like the most, because in most of the other 2, my hair kind of goes down in the middle and I look like a Vulcan. So yeah, that's a lovely photo.
Okay, or just like a Misfits guy, you know?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Oh, I mean, what can you
mic-
say? What a cool guy on the keyboards. Yes, yeah, and all those tattoos and the hard rock pose.
yeah. Too much testosterone for just one picture.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's so tall. Legend. I mean, there's the fact that I'm speechless. I still can't believe that we've got him. Oh, that's a very nice photo. That was the first video we ever did together. In fact, last year. So yeah, that was a great photo. Vinnie Burns. Yeah, I first came across Vinnie in 1992. Asia, when John Payne was fronting them, came to Canada and played in a little bar called Stages in Kitchener, Ontario. And he won't remember it, but I met Vinnie there. Now, interestingly, later that year, I got a dub of a tape somebody had made of a concert back in the US that Asia had done. And one of the other people in that band, who I will not name, which was not Vinnie, said to the crowd, because it was really cold here at that time of year, that he said to the crowd, "Well, we're just back from a tour in Canada, and Canada sucks, basically." So,
Thanks, man.
What you say, whether it's in a metal detector interview or things that people might record at concerts. That just reams of class with the red. So I think that must be Vinnie's Christmas photo with the red and the black. That's a great photo.
Was last.
And then the two coolest guys in journalism right here.
Thanks so much.
Classy Italian tops on.
Of course, full of energy and testosterone and caffeine, and also pizza and mustache. But yes, I left my mustache in the other room. I have it.
Wow, I've never known that with you.
I know. That's why I always do the same thing when I go to my bank. Okay, so we will wait for the new Lost and Found, for the debut album for Lost and Found, but I know that you have something to tell us about the next Fatal Vision stuff.
Yes. So, like every band in history, I will announce to you that our upcoming 3rd album is by far our best album yet, because that's what everyone says. So Fatal Vision stuff, we don't really ever stop. So I'm actually flying to Ottawa tomorrow. We took a song off of Once called Little Rebel, which back in the 80s, when the original version of Fatal Vision existed, which was just a bunch of us in high school, we wrote this song and we were sure this was going to be our biggest hit. It was going to be great, fantastic, all those things. And then, of course, I went to university, Nirvana came, nothing happened. And our guitarist, Miguel, didn't really like Little Rebel all that much because he always wants everything to be badass. And it's more of a pop rock kind of thing with a keyboard riff. And when we do shows, it gets the women dancing kind of thing. And one thing that had always struck me, I think it was 1996, Bon Jovi came out with a version of Living on a Prayer, which was called Living on a Prayer 1996 or something like that, which was this very slowed down, melancholic acoustic version of it. And that had stuck in my head that maybe one day if I ever get Fatal Vision back together, we should do that with Little Rebel. And so we started writing that earlier this year, and we're going to film the video for it, in fact, tomorrow. And as I was going through it, so I'm doing the lyrics, and one of them is, "Will she be 17 forever?" Which is a completely appropriate thing to write when you're a 17-year-old boy, perhaps not so much when you're a man of slightly older age than I was at the time. And so I'm writing the lyrics and thinking, what do we do with this? Will she be 17 forever? Do I change the age? And then I realized there's a way to make somebody 17 forever, and that's because they never turn 18. And so we're doing a very sad version of this tomorrow, which involves a church and a cemetery and some other things. So that's what's immediately next on the Fatal Vision front. And then we are working on our third album, which is not called Once, Twice, Thrice. It's actually called 3 Times Lucky. And again, I think we have about 14 tracks on it. And we're kind of blowing everything up on this one. I get hassle sometimes because we do so many videos. There are people who love this. There are people who don't understand it. There are people who say, well, this is not the normal way things are done, which it usually is. You get 5 guys in the band in a warehouse lip syncing to the song, and that's it. Whereas we have this story that goes through all of the videos. And so for our first 2 for this, the first one is the one that we think will be our best song ever. It's called Time of Our Lives. We're filming the video on Miami Beach in April. And I'm actually flying to Las Vegas in a couple of weeks to record the video for our second single, which is called 3 Times Lucky, and takes place in a bunch of casinos. So that's to come out later this summer. And then I feel fairly certain that come Christmas time, we will be back again, both on the Fatal Vision side and the Lost and Found side with more Christmas stuff.
We must make a deal. You need to come back to Metal Detector to speak and comment all together the new Fatal Vision album and videos.
Would love to. Absolutely.
Okay,
Anytime.
cool. Yep. So one final message for your Italian followers.
Oh, I wish you were told me you were going to do that, and I would come up with something I could actually say in Italian, which would be anything more than buongiorno, or talking about various types of foods. We've had a lot of support from people in Italy. I love going there as well. The initial demos for the Lost and Found record were done in Italy. Some of the vocals were recorded in Italy. I actually came to Milan for my birthday last year. So Italy is one of our favorite places, and putting Lost and Found aside for a moment, Fatal Vision, I'm working on a tour with 3 other much bigger than our names in the melodic space, and Italy is one of the places that we hope to get to next year. So I hope you will keep listening. Thank you for the support, and we'd love to see you live. Hopefully we'll get there, if not later this year, then the early part of 2025.
And we will be there, of course, because at this point we must
Wow,
absolutely interview live. Simon,
live
thank you.
interview. Yeah, we'll go on Italian like national TV and like live aid.
Yeah. Okay, Simon, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate that, and hopefully, finger crossed, we will see you live on stage in Italy soon.
Sounds great.
Journey all around the world. Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, of course.
Merry Christmas.
Oh.